Hi and welcome to the THRUNITE channel. So today I'm talking about the THRUNITE TN12 Pro as well as a little bit of its evolution. So the other two lights we have here on the left is the original THRUNITE TN12 as well as the TC12 from THRUNITE. Alright, this is the V2 of the TC12. The original THRUNITE TN12 went through a few different versions. I want to say at least 4 or 5 different variants on this light. And we can see if I come in nice and close, you can see THRUNITE TN12, and there's even the date on this one, 2014, all right, which is 8 years ago. So although this light is 8 years old, still working like the day I got it. You can see it's definitely scraped up, pretty good gouge here in the aluminum body, but it has come a long way. So again, 4 or 5 versions of the original TN12, and then THRUNITE came out with the TC12. This is the V2 version. All right, at this point we do have the battery indicator on the side. This one does have to be charged. You see that flashing red. But yeah, I mean, just the difference in these. Originally, this is, I want to say about 1,000 lumens, maybe 1050. All right, and then the TC12 came in at about 1,100 lumens. It was about the same size, still running on an 18650 lithium-ion battery. And then eventually, we have now the THRUNITE TN12 Pro, which is pumping out 1,900 lumens. All right, super cool. But I just kind of want to break these two older models out and show you these for comparisons, also smaller. So over the years, you have better technology, a new LED, which we'll talk about in a moment here, and actually got a little smaller, even though it's using the same battery. All right, let's take a look at the heads here as well. Nice smooth reflectors ever since the beginning, because this light is made for throw. All right, so you want a nice smooth reflector in there. But yeah, just want to kind of show these other two here just to talk a little bit about the evolution. It is basically their staple flashlight. This is literally the first flashlight I ever got from THRUNITE. And the TN12 has a special place in my heart, and it's really the beginning of what we know now today as the company. THRUNITE having all these different flashlights, all these different products over the years, and just watching the evolution take place is pretty neat, pretty cool. So this is the birthplace of the TN12, and this is where it is today in 2022. All right, so here it is, the TN12 Pro. These sell right now for $49.99, very reasonable price, especially considering all the different modes and everything this is offering. A full 1,900 lumens on the turbo mode. That is crazy bright. All right, as I mentioned before, for the last couple of years, we have this power indicator, which is integrated into the side button, which is super cool. So when you turn that on, it will be blue if it's charged up like this one is, or as you saw before, it'll be red if it needs to be charged. Now, just like the older versions, this does have the winged side, okay, which is very nice. If you look, actually, compared to the original, the button stood up a lot higher. All right, so the original, even though sometimes it can tail stand depending on the the surface, it doesn't always work out that way. All right, but with the lower profile button here, it always is able to tail stand, okay, on any surface, which is very, very nice. I talk about this all the time, the advantage of being able to turn your flashlight on and just put it in the middle of a room on a table or something, or on whatever surface you want, really, that's flat, and have that capability of the light bouncing around indoors, okay? So super helpful with that. Also cutouts on both sides, so you can put on your lanyard if you want a wrist lanyard. Also, pretty much the standard these days, but something that's sometimes overlooked is the bi-directional pocket clip. All right, so we have the normal clip side here, but it also wraps around so you can clip it the other direction as well. Okay, very nice feature depending on how you want this flashlight orientated. If you want it in your pocket with the head up, or if you want it in your pocket with the head down, whether it's inside or outside the pocket, or if you just attach to a bag. It's just really cool. It gives you a ton of options. Sometimes people don't even think about these different capabilities. Let's say something as specific as if you're walking around a cave. Let's say you're spelunking, okay, which is not what everyone's doing all the time. But in that case, you're probably gonna have some kind of pack or bag. You can clip this to the outside of your bag and turn the light on. And because you're inside of a cave, that light is gonna bounce around all around you, all right, as if you're walking through with full lighting inside that cave. Obviously, you can do that indoors, although it's probably more rare that you're gonna have some kind of pack or bag on that you're gonna clip this to in an indoor situation. But it's just nice. It's just, I mean, the sky is the limit on how you can use your flashlights. So it is really nice to have the bi-directional clip. So again, you can pick whatever orientation you want. And of course, if you just don't want a pocket clip at all, you can go ahead and just pull it off. It's detachable. Okay, you can see the kind of ring cutout that's on there. that's the section you're going to put this on. What I like to do when I have a pocket clip on a light is I like to orientate it opposite of the button. All right, so here's our side button. I'm going to put this on the opposite side. So if I was in the dark and I needed to grab the light, I can feel for that pocket clip and know that the opposite side is exactly where that button is without having to search for it. All right, so I happen to always do that with my pocket clips. I do prefer having the pocket clips on, unless of course I have this in kind of a sheath or something. But anyway, let's take a look at the business end here real quick. Get a zoom on that because we have a new LED, all right, which is an SFT40. Very cool. Again, very smooth reflector here, which is going to project that light outward. All right, so let's take a look at how this thing works. There are two buttons, as I mentioned. There's a side button as well as the tail clicky switch. All right, if you just want this to be on high, you get all that light, all you have to do is push that. Half press is going to be your momentary on, so you hold it in halfway. When you want the light to go off, you just let go. It's very simple. That's why it's called momentary. It's going to stay on as long as you hold it. Or you just click it on to have constant on, okay, which obviously you can use hands-free as well. So that is really simple as far as, you know, a reverse grip here if you're in some kind of tactical situation. But if you just want to hold it normally, you can use the light as well as access all the different modes from the side switch, okay? So just pushing the side switch once turns it on. Push and hold, it's going to cycle through low, medium, high. All right, at any point in time, you can double click to go to that turbo. All right, from the off position, you can push and hold. All right, and that's going to get us into the Firefly mode, okay? A triple click is going to go to strobe. 1, 2, 3. All right, so there's our strobe mode. And just super cool. I mean, obviously, some people don't use all these different modes. It's nice that it's a separate entity on the side here. So if you just want to use a light quickly, on and off, that's all it is. It doesn't have to be complicated. But if you are, you know, into your flashlights and you do have different situations where you want to use those specific modes, it's just nice that you have that on the side button. All right, it is also nice that it's metal, comparing all the way back 8 years ago, when of course it was just a little rubber switch. All right. And again, I can't stress enough how important it is to have that power indicator. I think it's super cool. There's a couple different random scenarios that I always think of. If I know a storm's coming, big storm means it's possible for the power to go out. I'll go through some of my lights. I'll just give it a quick press, make sure that it's blue. If it's red, it needs to be charged. So I'll, you know, prepare for that particular storm beforehand. Okay, charge up my flashlights and the storm comes, and if the power goes out, I'm good to go. And of course, if you're going camping or some kind of adventuring, you know, again, checking your gear, just a quick press, you can make sure your flashlight's charged up, which is really nice. Now, speaking of charging, all right, there is a charging port on the side here on the TN12 Pro. All right, we can see, just like all these newer lights, they're coming with the USB-C. All right, so it's a fast charging capability, which is very nice. Okay, obviously you don't want to spend all day trying to charge up your batteries. So I do like the modern technology that's integrated into this light. All right, as far as the little trapdoor, you can see you want to make sure that is completely depressed. All right, make sure nothing gets in there. You can see there's a tiny little rubber tab, so it's easy to pick up, which I actually really do like on this model. A lot of times on these side switches, let's check out the original, does not even have a side switch. The original you had to remove the battery to charge it. On the TC12, all right, there's also a little tab, which is easy to get to. On some flashlights, it's just a little difficult to get the little the cap or cover off when you want to charge it. So it's just nice to have these little tabs there, so it makes it easier. Now, as far as the outputs, I just want to run through those real quick. On full turbo mode, it is 1900 lumens. Okay, very, very bright. I'll give you a quick demo of that in a little while. On high, it's 550 lumens. On medium, it's 220 lumens. On low, it's 50 lumens. Firefly is only 1/2 lumen, all right, so 0.5 lumens. And strobe is 560 lumens. All right, and obviously, if you're not familiar with flashlights, the lower the output, the longer the runtime. Okay, so if you want to conserve your battery in some kind of, you know, emergency situation or a camp situation, you don't necessarily always need the 1900 lumens this is going to offer. You could drop this down to low mode just to look in your pack or something and conserve that battery power, so it lasts a lot longer for you. All right, it's going to give you kind of a scan up and down. All right, you can see that bench that's out there. It's probably, I don't know, maybe 25, 30 feet. Give you a reference. Scan back and forth. All right, so there you have it. That is the THRUNITE TN12 Pro. Fantastic light. It's really cool to see the the evolution of this flashlight over the years and watching a company just make a product better and better and better. So if you're not familiar, THRUNITE does giveaways all the time. If you want to enter, all you have to do is comment on these videos as well as subscribe to this channel. Thanks for watching.